Today it's the 5th of June, and I'm trying to do a reading to see how is the situation going to turn out in England. First of all, for what I'm getting is there's still a lot of people having this, they all want to heal, they all want things go back to normal, they all want this stability. However, it comes with an attachment, which is a devil energy. Everyone is trying to get back to normal the way they want, how they want to be, but it all based on the material stuff rather than going into like a deep introspection and trying to find a way to heal themselves or heal others in a spiritual way. And it indicates that the majority of people, they're thinking about the financial situation, their financial situation, how they can heal when it comes to material world, and which is not good, because when you get a devil card here, and it is too heavy, the energy, it's nothing to do with spiritual, nothing to do with it. It's just people are still stuck in that cycle, worry about their own thing, worry about money, worry about this, what they own, the business, without going into the introspection and think like why the world comes to this today. Like why the world, there's so much disaster going on all over the world. It's just very sad to me, like people still don't get it. They didn't realize what is happening right now this year is meant to happen, and because humans have done so much, way too much, seen, and karma has finally returned, and it's gonna hit every single one of us back in his own way. I mean, obviously, if you're someone who always, very loving and caring, very selfless, very kind, that sort of, person, it won't hit you as much. But if you're nothing like that, but you are, all you're carrying is the devil energy, toxicity, dishonesty, all sort of toxic energy, not only doing it to yourself but also towards other people, that is going to hit you back. That is going to be the reason why it's going to hit you really hard this year. And no matter how much you wish things is going to be better soon, how much things you want to be back to normal, you miss the great life that you have, whatever you own, it's just a wishful thinking, you know what I mean? Now the second message I'm getting is this event, what happening to every single one of us now, is meant to teach us a lesson. It's meant to teach us how to bring back the equality, the balance, the selfless love, willingness to give to others, not only to yourself but others, especially to those who needed our help. And it's a choice, it's a time, they want us to make that choice now. They're giving us a timeline, they're giving us a choice right now to do it. And I see it very clearly if people who choose to walk away from what they have already put in, what they have owned, and instead they're willing to go out there and give it to others, to sacrifice themselves. When I say sacrifice, I don't mean like you have to die, but I mean like, the moment you realize it's time for you to give, not to keep, not to hold back, not to just think about your own self, but others, that is the time will bring you a profound fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. And it's funny because here you have another card that is the Lover, and it's a choice, and right underneath is this Ten of Swords card. So it tells me very strongly that for those people who refuse to give or refuse to be the kind of person who, to do the right thing. Some people, they're still being very stubborn. They don't want to change. They just want to stuck in the same old cycle to be, the sort of person who they normally are, like, selfish, and when it comes to others, they don't really care. Those are the people who will really suffer, and they're going to be suffering really, really hard. And I do see that for those who are willing to give, they will finally have this profound emotional enlightenment, which is beautiful thing. And now the next message I'm picking up is it's really funny. Again, for those who are still under the Seven of Swords energy, which they seems like they've got their own plan, they've got their plan worked out. I'm picking up the energy that these people, they still don't know what the heck is going on. They might just look at right now what's going on around the world. It's like, oh, it's nothing. It's just another. It almost doesn't like bother them the way it should be. And suppose it should be, but it's almost like they have some sort of cunning plan, and they have this sort of deceitful energy around them. And it's almost like they, during this time, they just don't want to steal. They just wanted to keep whatever they want for their own pleasure, for themselves. Wide, they are seeing some people are willing to both compromise and work things out, help one another, to open up. And for those people who are willing to do this, they will be someone who get to the Queen of Pentacles energy, which is a very stable energy. Not only will bring them like good luck, prosperity, and it's like they'll be feeling emotional, very stable. And I still feel like for those people are still trying to walk away from all this. It's almost like, well, I don't care, there's nothing to do with me. I've got my own plans and I know what to do, I don't have to worry. I feel like those people are turning their back away from this karmic journey that they're supposed to go through. Yeah. Now, Three of Swords card just flew out. It's exactly what I just said, that for those people who turn away from all this, trying to run away from denial, trying to carry on with this sort of dishonesty energy, they eventually it's going to get them badly, very badly. Yeah. And when this finally hit them, they will be the one who finally feeling the cold, what it feels like to be left out in the cold. They will, and I guarantee those people, they will at some point. It will hit you very hard, and you will lose everything you have. Whatever that, let's say if you have a stable home, you might no longer have it, or you have a stable job, you might no longer have it, or if you have quite a lot of money, you might lost a lot of money, or even just get you to the point like you're really doomed. You really struggle, you really feel like, oh my God, I'm really out in the cold. And by then, for those people will finally feel it, like just, wow, this is what it's like to be having a heartache. And then those people will get into introspection and having this hermit mode, and start to reflect and think how I can get to where I'm supposed to be. Now, the next message, give me a second. It's time to it's time to the last message I'm getting is people really need to start coming together with this rational thinking, rational attitude, rational energy. No more procrastinating, no more running away from denial, no more deceitfulness, but face the honest truth, but tell the honest truth. So if you're someone, so let's say if you are someone who is the authority kind of person, like if you, let's say you're the government or the president and all that, those people, they have to tell the truth. They have to be very rational and stop juggling with things. Stop it, because if you keep on doing that, I want to clarify this before I say it. Queen of Soul energy. So you have King and Queen of Soul energy. It's really no time to muck around. This is exactly what I said. Stop juggling. Stop juggling. And stop just standing still and wait, trying to wait for your ship comes in, or trying to wait for everything to get back to normal, So it's all about learning. It's all about everything. It's almost like this event this year, basically, not just this event, this whole year. I'm just picking up the energy very heavily that it's almost like, even though you are someone so powerful, or you're someone who you runs the country, or or someone who is knowledgeable, but then because of what is happening right now around the world, it almost make you feel like you got to start learning again. You got to start how do I say, because this whole thing is too new to you, to a lot of people, because you've never experienced like crisis like that. You've never experienced so much disaster going on within the same whole year. And like I said in the past, it's coming this year. It happens for a reason. It's because there's a lot of people have done way too much sin, and karma, it has to come back this year, because everyone is still having this devil energy. They are ignoring what they've been doing to others, to the world. And that greed, that selfishness, it's been, we're not talking about one person here. We're talking about the whole world. As much as we have people who are very loving and caring to others, but unfortunately there are a lot of people who did a lot of bad stuff. And the way they do it, it's not like once in a blue moon. Some people, they're doing it every single day, and all this, it piles up, it multiplies, and to the point that to the point that the world just got to step in. They got to step in and give you guys a wake-up call. And they're giving you a chance. They're giving us a chance. Whether we have to come back to learn how to get ourselves to have the Empress energy. And now I'm picking up very heavily as well. For a lot of people, almost every single us needs to feel that. It's start from your own mother. I don't know why I'm picking up this very strongly. The reason why we have to think about our mother first, our parents first, because they are the one who give us life. Without them, there won't be us here. And maybe for some of you saying that, well, I've always been someone who treated my parents really loving, care, with care, so I don't have to worry about that. Well, let me finish the story. Yeah. So basically, not a lot of people will be like you, or very caring about their parents just because that is their mother. Sadly, some people, they take it for granted. They take life for granted. So for those people, if you're listening to this message, you need to go back, way back, to where your life have started, and thank the person who have given you the life, and start giving back to them. And if you already have done your part, your duty as a child, as somebody's son or daughter, great. Now, then you have to look around and see who, if anyone else who have who have helped you, who have been there for you, but somehow you have ignored them, or somehow you've taken them for granted, or somehow you hurt them, even though they've done nothing to you. You need to go back to apologize to them. Basically, I feel very heavily that it's time for us to go into that introspection and start to feel grateful. Start thinking back, for those people who given us those wonderful memories in the past, for those who have made us felt love, what love is supposed to be, give you the fuzzy, warm feeling in it. Start thinking about those people and start feeling grateful, how lucky we are to have those people in life. And a lot of people might laugh about this, but they're missing the point. This is extremely important, because where we are right now, that is because a lot of people have forgot about the mother nature, have forgot about what the planet has provided us all this year, and yet we have chose to neglect it, ignore it, take things for granted, to the point that the mother nature, it's like enough is enough. Because there are way too many people, they only care about their own fulfillment, what fulfills them in that little little comfort zone, and think like, well, as long as I'm fine, I'm feeling fine, I have everything, I don't care about the mother nature. Why I have to be the one who care when others don't? Now, again, this is what happened. We're not talking about one person here. We're talking about every single person on earth. You multiply that number. Can you even imagine the damage that human have put it out there? I don't even know if you can begin to imagine the impact of it. It's huge. It's enormous. It's unbelievably. It's unbearable. And you know what? Again, sadly, humans don't really learn. Even though they are facing enormous challenge, a lot of the time they would rather walk away, run away, not to face the consequence, not to deal with it, and hope that somehow all these problems around them or in front of them is going to magically disappear, which is not going to happen. And even though for some of you who will make it through this year, I can guarantee you it will come back again 10 years after or earlier. It depends. It really depends on your karmic debt, how bad it is. So, we really need to start waking up, guys, honestly. I have been there was so much I want to say, because it's almost like there is this blue map in my brain, in my mind, about this year, what's going on, what will happen. And I, as much as I wanted to go out there and warn people and help people, but all I'm getting is people criticizing and thinking that I'm crazy and all that, which I don't feel one bit of anger at all, because to me it's absolutely normal. Like, not a lot of people is awakened, and not a lot of people will be able to see what I can see, and I just felt really sad inside. That sadness is have you ever experienced like you're really trying to help someone because you can foresee something happen, and but then the other person don't want your help, and somehow it turned out the way that you predicted, and this is almost like that. And then or maybe if someone give you advice for something not to do so, and then the person that they refuse to listen to you, and then they finally taste their karma, and then you might be saying to them, I told you so. It's almost like that, but it's almost like that. Well, it's exactly like that. It's not almost. And this is how I've been feeling. And anyway, so like I said, if people are willing to move forward and start learning, stop being rational about what they have to do the right thing. If they're going to do something, or if they're going to say something, do it with honesty. Say the right thing and do the right thing. Like I said, whatever action comes from you, as long as it doesn't affect you, and it doesn't affect other people, then do it. So I give you an example. A lot of people, it's already hard for them to trying to be mature, trying to be mature enough to think like, what they shouldn't do to harm their well-being, because of this devil energy around them. So let's say they are, they have obsessive drinking or some sort of behavior, within them. For a lot of people, because their mindset is not strong enough, spiritually they're not strong enough, they will have no power to control their thoughts and their behavior. And that's why ended up, they will do things that will harm themselves, will harm their well-being. Now, harming yourself is one thing. It's already not a good karma, because you're taking life for granted. Yeah, we all come to this life. We have our own responsibility. You don't just show up in this world and thinking that you don't have to give back to others, and all you're doing is just enjoy life and don't care about others. No, if you think that way, then eventually you run out. And some of you might saying that, well, I've seen a lot of people, they haven't done much, they haven't contributed much to others or to the world, then how come they have all those good fortune and all that? They're rich, they've got everything they want, they're powerful, they're famous. etc., etc. And I can tell you this now, that is because those people in previous life, they have done many good deeds, and this life, it pay them back, and it reward them, because they have done so much. God knows how many life, but definitely from previous life they have done so much, and that's why this life they can enjoy all that. But the thing is, the most important thing we mustn't forget, that is, you never really know when you'll run out of those rewards, So that's why when a lot of people, they have a very smooth, successful life, the minute that they take it for granted, and the minute that they think like, life comes really easy, it seems like I can have whatever I want. No, they're wrong, because actually their previous life have done a lot of good things in order to have all this life. And like I said, nobody knows how. It's almost like, just imagine like you have a piggy bank. Everyone has a piggy bank, yeah? So, for those people, this life, they've got so much good fortune. They got so much great things happening in their life. Those are like those good karma coins have filled up their piggy bank. And that piggy bank has been saving up all those for many lives. And that's why this life, from their, they can spend their good karma from their piggy bank that they've saved up before. Now, eventually, those good fortune, they can run out. And how? It's especially for those people who, if they just continuously think about themselves, being selfish and all that, and then on top of it, they start doing bad things, then that is where comes that piggy bank, the coins inside, with the good karma, slowly demolish. Like, it's like they're slowly disappearing. And that's why for some people, they will suddenly have this terrible luck come in. They might think, oh, it's luck, but in a way, that's because they've done it to themselves, or it could be because it's from their previous life as well. It could be. So that's why I always tell people, when you are having a new life, this life, I'm not saying that you need to dwell on the past and trying to find out how much saving I have in my good piggy bank. You will never be able to find out. Well, in a way you can, because by looking at the environment that you are in, if you always if you have everything, you have shelter and food, and you have, basically, if you have more than other people, you can tell for sure you have a lot of good fortune as well. You've done quite a lot from the past. If you always this life struggle, sick, to worry about food, worry about money and all that, of course it's a sign. It's saying that your previous life might not have done enough, and therefore this life have to teach you back. But don't think that you are doomed just because you're in a struggle situation. It's never doomed. We have the power to change it. But sadly, a lot of people, they refuse to take action, to actually do it, to physically do it. They might do it for once or twice or like a very short time, and then they go back to square one. So that's why they don't see the point. They don't like why they have to carry on and do so, because they feel like, well, last month I've donated, £5,000 or however much it is. They might think like, well, I've done something good. Or maybe they feel like, just yesterday I've helped such and such, or I helped such and such last month. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It works from every single one have to do it consistently every day, and you have to continuously feeling grateful and compassionate being compassionate towards others. So it's very heavy, this reading, I must say. Well, when I say heavy, it's normal. It is supposed to be like that. I would be very surprised if the cause will turns out like very chill and laid back, it wouldn't make any sense at all, but the card just screaming at me and saying that everyone has a choice. The choice is whether, it's up to you whether you're going to do it or not. Everyone got to start doing it, regardless whether the people that we know around us, if they're doing it or not, because that is their life. Their life is not our life. So we got to do things that it's good for our life and to other people's life. And when I say that, I don't mean it has to involve material stuff, right? It really comes from your soul, your heart, your selfless attitude. You got to work on that first, because there are a lot of people outside. They can be helping people with the money and all that, but still inside they can be a very selfish person. They can be a two-faced person. So that doesn't mean mean you are truly a nice person or good person, because it's just fake. That's why it's important. People got to start working on their soul, working on purifying their soul, really. Because without doing that, not only you will never get the peace, but there will be a lot of painful events coming towards to you. Just a matter of time. And that pain, it's you wouldn't even be able to imagine it. You wouldn't. You might feel like, well, I'm all good now. I'm all set. You might look at your bank account and think like, well, I've got enough money to last me a lifetime and all that. But no, you never know what will happen. Things can just suddenly change overnight. And the divine, the universe is constantly testing every one of us. Constantly. The way we think, the way we talk, the way we send out our energy to others. It's all testing us. It's all testing us constantly. And there will be demons, energy around us to test us, to tempt us whether we're going to make the right choice and do the right things. And if we continue to carry on to live the same old ways, I can assure you it's going to end painful. It's really time to learn not to hold on to stubbornness, hold on to, let's say, your wealth, or hold on to something that you think is very valuable to you. Stop holding on to it. You can be someone also very loving to your family or to your friends, but that is not enough. You need to go further. You need to expand that love outside that circle, not only just to your family and friends, but also people that you don't know. It could be a complete stranger. You got to start work with other people, collaborate with other people. And by doing that, this is the way you will learn a great deal from it. And also when it comes to emotion as well, it's time, they're saying that you need to have a new way of thinking. When I say new way of thinking, so it means like, for some people, let's say, they have a lot of love inside, like I said, it's all about themselves or people that they love, they care. But again, all this need to, all this sort of how do I say, it needs a big readjustment, basically. So like I said, it's no longer just about how you feel deep down inside. It is no longer about just how you feel deep down inside, but your action towards other people. It says a lot. And by doing that, it will bring you something very tangible. In the future. It might take a long time though, very long time. But when that reward comes, I can assure you it's going to be stable, it's going to be solid. It's just a matter of, the only thing that you have to do is you're willing to start using that magician energy, that use up all your tools. Everyone has their tools. It's not like you need to have a certain degree of knowledge in order to know or to understand how to love and care for one another. You don't need that, because love is a universal language. It doesn't matter where you go, it doesn't matter what language you speak, it doesn't matter what race you are. You will always find a way to show it, and people will understand your intention. But you gotta take a leap of faith to do it, and stop feeling defeated, and stop feeling not only for some of you, not just feeling defeated. For some group of you, you will feel defeated and dwelling in the past. But for some of you, you are trying to win. You're constantly trying to win, but in your own deceitful way or cunning way. Like, it's almost like even though you if you win in the end, is not an honorable way. It's not. Because, what do you get out from this situation, this journey, this life? Is it all about just how to being deceitful, or how to be selfish, or how to be negative, towards other people in order to make you happy or get what you want? No, it's not that. Justice gotta come in, and it will come in. So for those people who refuse to open their mind and heart and soul, it will hit them hard, I guarantee you. At some point in life. And the truth is, we don't want to get to the point that when we have to learn it in a hard way, that we have to lose so much. Because sometimes you don't want to lose to the person that you love in order to learn a lesson and realize, oh my God, what have I done? Why I've wasted all this time? The person that I love is no longer here. I'm giving you an example, yeah? I'm not saying someone that you love is going to pass away. I'm not saying that, but I'm just giving an example, because we all know that the person, if the person that we love so much, so close to us, so dearly close to us, that suddenly one day is no longer here around us, we will feel the pain, we will feel the hurt and sorrow, right? You can't deny that feeling. So my point is, with the situation that we're going through now, start waking up, because you don't want to experience the kind of pain that is almost equivalent, like you're losing someone that you love. That's my point. So I still pick up very heavily. Like, for example, some people, I'm having this vision in my mind that until today, some people don't take, for example, this virus seriously, and they might laugh at other people who are wearing a mask, or they might be laughing at other people, why they're overreacting, something like that. The truth is, this way of thinking is not right, because you're not using your compassion. Compassion. You're not using your compassion to think that, oh yeah, maybe I should be more careful, because we don't want to catch it. We don't want to somehow accidentally pass it on to others, and they pass it on to their loved ones, and somehow I accidentally make other people suffer. So if people start to have this sort of concept, change their way of thinking, being compassionate, trying to put yourself in other people's shoes. So even if people, they might not appreciate what you do for them. They might somehow take you for granted, or even though you trying to do good things, you're trying to do to other people, but other people is not showing any appreciation, but on top they somehow blame you, they somehow shout at you, ignore those people. So you just have to simply ignore them with a smile, and just tell yourself that those people, they're not spiritual awakening yet, but you are. And you know why you are? Because the minute you're willing to use that, activate your compassionate mode, you are halfway there. And you know what, you can always look back without any regrets, because you have done your best. You have done your best to help other people, despite the fact that they don't appreciate, they don't need it from you. But still, you've tried your best. You do it not because people are asking you, but you do it because you care. You want to help. Don't ever let other people energy, the negative energy, to put you off by doing the right thing. Don't. I can tell you, pretty much my whole life I've experienced this. From time to time I have experienced this. And in the past, because I'm not fully spiritual awakening yet, there will be a time I feel very frustrated. I feel angry inside. I feel like injustice. I feel like why others can take me for granted like that. But that's because I haven't worked enough with myself. At the time I didn't realize I still got a lot of inner work to do spiritually. So I've spent many years, I do lots of meditation, and I really focus on shifting my energy. And now, to the point is, when people do that to me now, they take me for granted, and even though I absolutely done nothing wrong, I wouldn't get upset or anything, because I finally get it. I finally realize is those people, they're not spiritually awakening yet, and that's why they think I'm crazy. And it's not their fault, because everyone has their journey. And if we are someone simply trying to help, we should never put a time frame or put a condition on it. Because when you help someone, you're not thinking what you can get back out from them, isn't it? You're supposed to just think like, okay, I just want to put it out there and help them, help them out, make it through the day, or help them out from whatever struggle they have, and at the end of the day, it makes us happy. It gives us that pure, that pure joy, and that pure joy is priceless. Seeing those people who has a smile on their face to show that how relieved they are to have someone like you to be there to help them. And it will be even better if they didn't even ask for help, but somehow you're there. That makes a difference. And if people can start doing this around the world, it doesn't matter to the people you know or family, but also people that you don't know, or even animal. Then the minute you do that, day by day, you will start to fully activate that compassionate mode, like I said. Anyway, I hope you like this reading, and it's been quite a while. The only thing is because I think a couple of months ago, when the coronavirus appeared, and I feel like there was a time I really want to do the reading. I really want that because I got so much downloads, from my inner voice. But I feel like there is another force, in a way it's stopping me. It's almost like it's not the time. It's the time we need to get into the introspection mode. So that's why I wasn't even in the mood to do any zodiac sign reading at all, because I just don't feel right. I just feel like it's the time we should really get into the introspection, think about why so much disaster is going on this year. Although I know why, but a lot of people don't know why. And there will be time. I just feel like we need to heal. We need to heal, especially from mentally. We need to heal because, when suddenly so much disaster happening, even though it's not happening exactly, to yourself, but you feel other people's pain, and when you feel other people's pain, you will want to pause for a minute. You don't want to live, you don't want to act like, oh, life carries on, and at least I can't. I simply can't. That's why I haven't uploaded any video on my channel. I just feel like I can't. It's time. I need to do a lot of soul searching work, and I always feel like when the time is right, like tonight, I felt like the time is right, then I start recording again. And one last thing I wanted to mention, that is, I think in the beginning of this video or this recording, I did mention, I was asking about the UK, and to me, I also feel like it's not just the UK, but usually when I do a reading, I do go to more specific if I can, and suppose I was trying to ask for the UK, but next time I will also do another reading for the whole world or in the US. But I don't know why. This, to be fair, I know, even though I do another reading for other country, the message, it won't be a huge difference, because this reading, it's almost like trying to remind me that it is not just about a certain place, or you're going to affect certain group of people. It's not. So that's why I just want to clarify this. Like, if you're listening to this message, I would strongly suggest that it does apply to you. It doesn't matter where you live, even though you don't live in the UK, but it does apply to every single one of us, very, very strongly. Anyway, I hope you take care and stay safe and well. Stay positive, and don't forget to start doing the right things. The best way to do it is start with yourself first. Don't start to trying to change other people and all that, but just really start with yourself first. Start with to your family and to all that, and then slowly you expand that positive energy into your life. And this is how you do it. And it does take practice on a daily basis, consistently. Doesn't matter day or night, but it has to be consistent. And we mustn't forget the lesson that we have experienced, because if we continue to ignore it, the karma will always find a way to teach you again. It will always find a way to teach you again. So anyway, take care. Much love. Bye bye.